and disappointed that we never pushed back, figuratively, not literally. But our guys were excited to play. I don't think there's any question about that. We practiced well, but being excited to play is a lot different than being ready to compete and fight with a team like Michigan State. The good news is we have been doing that. The bad news is we picked a bad night to not do it. And they deserve a ton of credit because they played really well. But everything that we needed to do in this game, get back in transition, talk on defense, definitely block out. We didn't do those things. Not with any sense of purpose tonight. And offensively, I'm highly disappointed too. We didn't cut with any urgency. Our cuts and screens were as soft as maybe I've ever coached at Indiana, maybe anywhere. And that's so we got back on our heels and we didn't respond. I thought our leadership was left somewhere back in Bloomington. And I guess that falls on me because we didn't have any leadership in that game whatsoever. And at the second half, we played the guys that had some compete and fight and that wanted to try to stand their ground a little bit. And but they played an outstanding game. There's no question about that. I was as concerned about how we were going to score in this game as how we were going to stop them. Because when you don't attack them with screens and move the ball with a pace, we didn't do anything that we practiced. So we've got to get better in a hurry, and this league is obviously very unforgiving. They could care less what you did the last game, whether you win or lose. You got to bring it quickly, and we'll start responding again sometime in the morning. So go ahead.
Coach, how much of tonight was Michigan State playing their best game of the season, you guys struggling, or was it a combination of both?
Oh, I'm sure it was a combination of both. They did a really good job, so they played well. He told me as we're walking off the court, it was their best game of the year. He's probably just being my good friend. They have a really good team, and I sent him some texts as we were studying the film saying, wow, this defense is good. I mean, they really are. They cover so much ground. They help, but we played into that. We didn't attack. When we attacked off the dribble, and it was really just one guy, Yogi, and really disappointed in our level of compete and attack tonight on offense as well as defense. But when we attacked and made them help, then it's a better game. We missed a lot of shots. I think we'll watch the film and see that we missed a lot of shots that we usually make, and so we picked a bad night. I don't know how many open ones we had, but. Certainly, it's not characteristic for us to shoot that poor, but I'm not concerned about that. I'm more concerned about the level of cutting and screening and attacking with the ball.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry. Tom, over here. They're a team that likes to get up and down and run, and they're a very different team in the half court. Your style is up and down and run. Is it going to be a tough matchup over here, either way against them, just because the mesh of styles helps them out, whereas in the half court they really struggle?
No, I don't know how much you've seen us play, but our half court offense, that becomes fun to talk about. You know, when you're running, we've been pretty good in the half court. I mean, we did a really good job the other night against Nebraska in the half court. We did an excellent job against Butler in the half court. I don't think it's that. I think tonight we didn't look like we'd ever played half court offense. So tonight, tonight you're right. Okay, because we didn't. I'm just bewildered the lack of purpose that we played with the cutting and the screening compared to the way we've been playing and compared to the way we practiced. I'm not going to put that on youth either because we just didn't do it. You know, Honoparia was certainly not ready to play tonight, and now he'll be in for a dogfight for that position because Emmett Holt was. He didn't play well, but he was a little more ready to play. Troy gave us really very little fight tonight, and those guys have got to be good in the half court. Troy's one of our better guys at moving without the ball in the half court, and that didn't happen tonight. But we just didn't respond. We didn't respond to the physicality, and when you don't do that, okay, with screens, we're out there slipping screens. We have a call for slip screens. This was one game we didn't want to be slipping screens hardly at all. So when you do that inside your half-court offense is going to look very good. But we'll improve. I'm not. There's no way Sometimes you're not as good as you think you are, and coaches rarely look and see how good they really think they are when you win a game. But sometimes you got to have the same attitude when you lose a game. You got to have some perspective on that. And I think they had a lot to do with it, but we contributed to it.
Zach?
I guess, is it too, and you talked about this a little bit, but is it too early to tell exactly where the disconnect was between having some good practices, being fired up for this game, and then?
I think it's just, we got back on our heels and got disappointed real quick. You know, our whole message, when you're playing really good teams, and it's not like it was just for tonight, you can't get discouraged, okay? And like, you got to keep coming. You know, when you get hit on pick, which you're going to get hit on for Michigan State, you got to keep coming. You got to keep challenging the shot. You got to keep fighting over the screen. Well, tonight we never made them do that on the defensive end. They didn't have to fight over any screens because we didn't set them. And so we just got to be much more efficient with our purpose and how we play. But we have been. I mean, we can't score the points that we've had and make the improvements. Going into tonight's game, we've been out rebounding teams by 9 against some really good teams. And tonight, we weren't even close. So we really improved in those areas. But we'll just get back at it and keep improving, and not going to change how we practice, and certainly not going to change what we've been doing to get better. We've just got to get our urgency revisited quickly.
Tom, why exactly do you think there was the lack of urgency on the cuts and the screens and those things tonight?
I don't know. You know, I don't know. There wasn't in the second half, so it wasn't the fatigue level. So it wasn't about fatigue or anything like that. It was just purpose. You know, cutting the score. You know, we're not a team that's just gonna come down and post up. We were the last couple of years. You know, Cody, Noah, things like that. So we've got to have guard post ups. We've got to have cuts. You know, we've got to have action that makes us move. And I think our guys will be embarrassed when they see that, because that's not how they play. That's not how they've been playing. But again, we got back on our heels. We got disappointed, and we had nobody rallying us out of that. So I don't do captains. I don't put the C on the chest, because if I did tonight, I'd be taking those jerseys away. You know, that we didn't have any of that. That we got to get, and that falls on me, obviously. But I'm not out there playing. But I'm the one that's making the decisions on who's out there playing, and our leadership was not good.
Tom, how much of Troy's night was just a product of going up against Brandon Dawson?
I don't think that had anything to do with it. I mean, Brandon's good, but I don't think Troy didn't bring a competitive level tonight. You know, let's not. It's not as much about the matchup, because we do so many things defensively, but he didn't play with any real resolve, and didn't get on the glass. You know, you're not going to be good when the two guys that have to be rebounders for you get 2 rebounds between the two of them. So, but we also know we needed guard rebounds. It wasn't as much about our forwards getting boards as much as them blocking people out so the guards can come in. And that's the way it's always got to be for us. So that wasn't as good for us tonight. So he just didn't have a good night, but he'll be fine. He'll get better from it. He usually responds in a pretty good way. And if you look at the Louisville game, he's responded in a really good way from the Louisville game. So.
Hey, Tom. I know you're disappointed at your team, but Antonio Smith told Tom after the game that was like the old days. Was that kind of the Spartan defense you remember?
Oh, yeah, they're really good. Though, you know, I don't ever do comparisons. You know, those were special days here. But I saw that on film. I don't think they've been playing pretty good defense. I think, you know, I'm not here, and not in the practices, obviously. And I'm sure he's like everybody else. He'd expect a lot more of other people. But some of their stuff was they just hadn't been making some of the shots they make. You know, and so that defense was good. It's been good. It's been good. Was it better tonight? That's for Tom to say. I was really good. But like I said, we played into that by not really, we never got to the foul line like we should have been either. I mean, we didn't shoot a free throw until there were 2 minutes left, I think, in the first half. A little better in the second half. But you got to move Michigan State, the ball in the bodies, and you got to screen and cut, and you got to keep them moving, because their help defense year in and year out, the rebounds are tremendous. Their help defense year in and year out, Fred, is as good as anybody's. And this year, it's right there. And if you let them be in help defense all night, there's going to be other results like that. And unfortunately, we let them be in help defense too much.
Time for 1 or 2 more. Go ahead.
What do you tell James after a night like tonight? He's been playing so well, and then shoot 1 for 14.
Well, it was during the game, the same thing. You can't focus on the scoring. You got to focus on the cutting, the movement. I thought he got better with that. He got fouled in the second half, and He's got to do a better job of driving and attacking. And so I really haven't said much to any of them about that. But we'll get into the film, and then we'll make our corrections and assessments, and like I said, be right back at it tomorrow morning.
Second game in a row with Hunter getting 2 quick fouls. I mean, is that part of, you didn't feel like you brought the
Yeah,
fight?
I don't know. I don't remember as much about the other night. The other night, he was behind the play. He's a work in progress. I guess I got to start going with that line, because that's really what he is. And that's why, you cover us all the time. I don't walk into our press conferences before games or after games raving about the latest thing Hunter did, because it's still new to him. For 2 years, he didn't work very hard here, all right, at all. And he's worked a lot harder. And he's got to have that commitment level, time and time again. But he's been pretty consistent for us, all spring, summer, and fall, and going into the winter. And I have to believe that he will. But there'll be some guys chomping at the bit to grab that spot tomorrow morning. All right, thanks. Good luck.